Good morning, students. Welcome to e-learning classes of Sacred Hearts. In the previous lecture of Business Studies, we have completed our fourth chapter, that was Business Services. Now, today, in our 23rd lecture, we are going to start our fifth chapter, that is Emerging Modes of Business. Just see the introduction about the chapter. Modern world and the era of is the era of globalization, change in technology. In response to this, business throughout the world is changing its organization, the way of working, the use of technology. Business processes are being redesigned. As the modern world is the world of globalization, is the world of change, is the world of technology, technocrats. So our business aspect is not also unaffected from it. That means our business have also affected from this modern era. And what happened as a result? The organization, the way of working, and the use of technology, everything have been redesigned. The major change in the mode of business is इमरजेंस जो मेजर चेंजेस आए हैं. व्हाट आर द मेजर चेंजेस? इज द इमरजेंस. इमरजेंस मीन्स राइजिंग. किसी भी चीज़ का क्या होना? राइज करना, ग्रो करना. इनिशियल स्टेज में उसको हम लोग इमर्जिंग बोलते हैं. द मेजर चेंज इन द मोड ऑफ बिजनेस इज इमरजेंस ऑफ ई बिजनेस, ई कॉमर्स and business process outsourcing. And these three elements are the core topic of the chapter: e-business, e-commerce, and the business process outsourcing. So let us start them. The very first topic, that is the meaning of e-business. What is e-business? E-business refers to carrying on business activities through internet. We all know what is business, but what we have to here understand is the combination of two words: e-business. E is the electronic. So, conduction of business activities through the electronic mode, conduction of the commerce activity, industry activity, trade activity through the electronic mode, through the internet, that is considered as e-business. See, so e-business means conduct of industry, trade and commerce activities through the internet or any of the electronic mode, that is known as e-business. I think the meaning is very simple about it. Now we are coming to the next topic, that is the scope of e-business. That means what are the different aspects of e-business. So dear students, the e-business includes carrying on, planning, organizing, marketing, production, etc. electronically through internet. Execution of every of the activity, whether it is planning, whether it is organizing, whether it is marketing and help in the production, everything through the electronic mode, that is the something scope of e-business. It have the following four elements in skibita, and we are going to discuss all the elements one by one. The very first element is the B2B commerce. The first B stand for the business, and again the second B stand for the business. So it is a business, it is a commerce, that is business to business. So see here, transactions taking place between business units are known as B2B transactions. For example, there is a business unit A and there is a business unit B. If the transaction take place between A and B, then it will be considered under the B2B commerce. See further, the list of actions may involve. What happens when we are discussing about B2B business? What are the activities there that can be executed? The first, creation of utilities, that means adding on the value. Second, collaborations, that means the mixing and the merger of two or more organizations. Commercial negotiations, what are the negotiations? That means making adjustments. And the last one, distribution of goods from manufacturer to the various distributor, because manufacturer is also business unit and the distributor is also the business unit. So these are the type of actions that involve under the B2B business. You can see the image also here. यहाँ पे आपको अब एक image दे रखी है, एक business A है और एक business B है, and both of them are joining hands together. That means they are doing transactions together, and it is for the clearing of the concept of B2B commerce. Now the second element is the B2C commerce. See, transactions taking place between business units and customers are known as B2C transaction. The first B stands for business and the C stands for the customers. So any of the transaction that is taking place between the business unit and the customer will be considered as B2C commerce. B2C enables the businessman to remain in touch with his customer on round the clock basis. That means the producers, the business unit can be in touch, in personal touch with the customers whenever they want to have a communication with them. Some promotion activities such as the use of music, film, है ना, to attract the customers are also used in B2C segment. B2C segment में customers को attract करने के लिए music, films, these type of techniques are adopted. सी फर्दर B2C ट्रांजेक्शन्स में इन्वॉल्व कौन कौन से ट्रांजेक्शन्स में हो सकते हैं बेटा. फर्स्ट, सेलिंग एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हो सकता है. दैट मीन्स वी आर सेलिंग द गुड्स फ्रॉम प्रोड्यूसर टू द customer. Second, after sale services, you have purchased the certain particular asset, but after that the after sale services is given to you by the producer or the business unit. Promotion and other marketing activities हो सकती है. And the last, lodging of complaints by the customer. Lodging of complaints, that means filing of the complaint if customer or the consumer is not satisfied or having some of the complaints. So lodging of the complaints will also come under the category of B2C, because the first party is the business and the second party is the customer over here. You can see the image as well beta. The one particular person is the businessman sitting on the industry, and the second one is the customer who is sitting on the house. That is the B2C commerce. The first unit is business and the second unit is consumer or customer. Now the third element, that is the C2C commerce. The transactions taking place between customers and customers are known as C2C transaction. जहाँ पे जो transactions हैं वो customer के बीच में ही execute होते हैं, उस particular situation को हम लोग C2C commerce बोलते हैं. In this, buyer and seller both are customer. परचेज करने वाला भी कस्टमर है और सेल आउट करने वाला भी कस्टमर है. वी ऑल हैव हेयर्ड अबाउट दिस OLX, eBay, क्विकर. ये सारे किसके एग्जाम्पल है बेटा? B2C C2C कॉमर्स के हैं, इन विच द बायर एज वेल एज द सेलर बोथ आर द कस्टमर्स. नाउ द ट्रांजेक्शन्स इन्वॉल्व इन द C2C. The first, selling used goods. Suppose the particular person have purchased a car. Now the particular person have to move somewhere else outside the country. Now the particular person is selling his car. So in this condition, the seller will also be a customer and the buyer will also be a customer. Second, selling of antique items. What are the antique items? The items that are very limited in the quantity in the world will be considered as the antique item. For example, the glasses of Gandhiji, both antique, because they are available in a very few quantity. I have just taken an example. So these are the antique items. So selling of the antique items, इसको generally sell out भी customers करते हैं और purchase भी customer करते हैं. Third, warning customers about the fraudulent suppliers. Giving warning to the coming customers so that they may not purchase the goods from the fraudulent suppliers. And the last, information about the क्वालिटी एंड द ड्यूरेबिलिटी ऑफ अ प्रोडक्ट ETC, जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं बेटा कस्टमर रिव्यू. इट इज़ द फोर्थ पॉइंट. ठीक है. नाउ वी आर कमिंग टू द लास्ट एलिमेंट, दैट इज़ द इंट्रा बी कॉमर्स. This refers to transactions between the parties or the persons who are the part of the one firm only. That means it is the transactions within the firm. That is why it is called intra-firm. एक ही फर्म से एसोसिएटेड जितनी भी डिफरेंट पार्टीज़ होती हैं, जितने भी डिफरेंट एलिमेंट्स होते हैं, जब वो आपस में ट्रांजेक्शन करते हैं तो उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? इंट्रा फर्म ट्रांजेक्शन्स बोलते हैं. जनरली अ फर्म हैज़ टू डील विद इट्स सप्लायर. भाई सप्लायर भी हैं, कस्टमर्स भी हैं, एम्प्लॉयज़ भी हैं. सो व्हेन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज़ डीलिंग विद देम, is having transactions with them, then it will be considered as the intra-B commerce. Now the transactions involved in the intra-B commerce, see the first one, interaction between two departments of one firm. For example, communication between the purchase department and sales department, advertising department and finance department. ठीक है. सेकेंड, प्लेसिंग ऑर्डर्स एंड गिविंग इंस्ट्रक्शंस टू द सप्लायर. यू आर जस्ट कम्युनिकेटिंग टू द सप्लायर, यू आर प्लेसिंग द ऑर्डर एंड यू आर गिविंग द इंस्ट्रक्शन दैट दिस टाइम दिस गुड मस्ट बी in this quantity, this raw material must be in this quantity, and so on. And the last one, communication of important information in the whole organization, etc. You are passing on the rules and regulation, you are passing on the new information to all the people. That will also come under the intra B commerce, because only the outsider of a particular firm are involved in this. Now the next very small topic, a very general topic, that is the e-business versus e-commerce. Before recalling or before understanding this concept, we will recall our first chapter in which we have read about business and we have read commerce as a part of business, है ना. बिजनेस एक बड़ा एस्पेक्ट था एंड आफ्टर हम लोग बिजनेस की बात करें तो उसमें एक पार्ट जो निकल कर आया था दैट वाज द कॉमर्स. सो द बिजनेस इज़ अ ब्रॉडर टर्म and the commerce is a narrow term. So same thing will implement in the e-concern as well. E-business will be a broader concept and e-commerce will be a narrow concept. E-commerce is a part of e-business. This is all about this topic. Now we are coming to the last topic, that is the opportunities or benefits of e-business. What are the benefits and the opportunities of beta e-business? What is the e-business? Any of the business transaction that is executed through the electronic mode, through the internet, through the electronic media, that will be considered as the e-business. हम इसकी opportunities या फिर benefits की बात करते हैं. So the very first benefit is easy to form and lower investment is required. It is very easy to form the e-business and a very less amount of investment is required. See, it is very easy to start e-business. The benefit of internet technology for that, with little investment, that more contact one can do, the better in the business. That means if a particular person is having less amount of investment but more amount of contact, techno hand, in this condition the particular person can earn a good amount of profit through the e-business. So very first, a very less amount of investment is required and there is least amount of formalities to be accomplished. The second, for example, for selling goods traditionally you need to hire shop and display the goods देयर, है ना. आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, अगर आप ट्रेडिशनली एक गुड्स बिजनेस स्टार्ट करने वाले हैं तो उसके लिए आपको पूरा एक शोरूम शॉप हायर करनी पड़ेगी, उसका इंफ्रा मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा, आपको अपने पास जो सेल्स पर्सन हैं उनको अपॉइंट करना पड़ेगा, है ना. गुड्स को डिस्प्ले करना पड़ेगा, उस डिस्प्ले करने से पहले उसे परचेज करना पड़ेगा एंड देन यू कैन ओपन द शॉप ट्रेडिशनली. बट इफ़ यू टॉक अबाउट द ई बिजनेस तो आपको इन सब की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है. इट इज़ वेरी ईजी. यू हैव टू परचेज अ स्पेस इन द इंटरनेट एंड यू हैव टू डिस्प्ले ओनली द पिक्स. आप सिर्फ पिक्स क्या कर दोगे, डिस्प्ले कर दोगे and in this investment comparatively less is needed. The second one, convenience. With the help of e-business, shopping can be made conveniently sitting at home. For example, you have to go to the market, so you have to make a lot of arrangements there, you have to see the time as well, and a lot of problems are there. But if you talk about the e-business, so sitting at the home, as per your ease, as per your ease of time, as per your ease of the situation, you can make your business to be executed. See further, millions of people exchange information in the world through e-commerce. So lot of peoples are there who used to exchange their information through the e-business, and in this way the conduction of the e-business is very easy. Now we are coming to the next benefit, that is speed. Through e-business, information can be exchanged and buying and selling can be done just with the click ऑफ अ माउस. हम लोग यहाँ पे अगर हम लोग स्पीड की बात करें, इफ़ वी आर जस्ट गोइंग टू ट्रेडिशनल, तो हमको वहाँ पे बहुत टाइम कंज्यूमिंग होता है. वी हैव टू वेट फॉर आर नंबर टू देयर, देन द पर्टिकुलर पर्सन यूज टू शो द थिंग्स अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, वेदर वी आर जस्ट गेटिंग द थिंग्स और नॉट, अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स आर देयर. बट इफ़ यू टॉक अबाउट द ई बिजनेस, सो जो ई बिजनेस है बेटा, इसमें जो स्पीड कंपैरेटिवली होती है वो बहुत फास्ट होती है. क्यों? बिकॉज एज वी डोंट हैव टू एनी वेट फॉर एनी वन, हमें किसी का वेट नहीं करना. वी वेन एवर वी आर गेटिंग टाइम, हम लोग उस पर्टिकुलर पोर्टल पे जा रहे हैं, हम लोग गुड्स को लुकआउट कर रहे हैं एंड देन वी कैन ईजिली ऑर्डर दैट विद द टैप ऑफ अ क्लिक और विद द टैप ऑफ द फिंगर्स. ठीक है, आगे देखिए. दिस बेनिफिट इज़ मोर इन केस ऑफ प्रोडक्ट लाइक, इसका जो बेनिफिट ज़्यादा है वो जनरली हमें किस में मिलता है, सॉफ्टवेयर, मूवीज़ एंड म्यूज़िक एक्सेट्रा, इसमें हमें कंपैरेटिवली ज़्यादा बेनिफिट मिलता है ई बिजनेस में. Now the next one, that is the global reach. Through e-business, the businessman can reach each and every human being on the planet who has access to internet. If we talk about the traditional business, तो उसकी जो reach है वो एक through out the एक area रहती है. But if we talk about the e-business, तो internet doesn't have any boundary. internet की कोई boundaries नहीं है. If internet doesn't has any boundary, so obviously your business is also not having any boundary. That means your business can be explored, can be flourished throughout the world, but there must be the availability of internet. This is the only condition. So see, there is no limitation of geographical area. The goods can be traded throughout the world. जहाँ पे भी इंटरनेट फैसिलिटी अवेलेबल है वहाँ तक आप गुड्स को क्या कर सकते हो, ट्रेड कर सकते हो. एंड द नेक्स्ट वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस दैट इज़ अ कॉस्ट सेविंग बेनिफिट. एक और इसका बेटा है, ट्रेडिंग थ्रू ई बिजनेस इज़ मोर इकोनॉमिकल, है ना. इकोनॉमिकल का मतलब क्या होता है, लेस एक्सपेंसिव. वाई? बिकॉज इन ई बिजनेस देयर आर वेरी लेस अमाउंट ऑफ फॉर्मेलिटीज इज़ टू बी डन. आपको शोरूम मेंटेन करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, आपको फर्दर सेल्समैन अपने पास हायर करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, मिडिल मैन हायर करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. एंड जनरली यू यूज़ टू सेल द गुड्स डायरेक्टली. आप जनरली क्या करते हो, गुड्स को डायरेक्टली क्या करते हो, सेल आउट करते हो विदाउट एनी मिडिल मैन और मीडियोकर. और इसका रिजल्ट ये होता है कि जो आपके बेनिफिट है वो कंपैरेटिवली क्या होता है, ज़्यादा होता है. तो यहाँ पे हमें डबल प्रॉफिट हो रहा है, डबल बेनिफिट हो रहा है. फर्स्ट कॉस्ट हमारी कम आ रही है, सेकंड हमें प्रॉफिट कंपैरेटिवली क्या हो रहा है, ज़्यादा हो रहा है. नेक्स्ट, दैट इज़ द मूवमेंट टूवर्ड्स अ पेपरलेस सोसाइटी. A paperless society, that means a society that is saving the natural resources. So through the electronic mode, through the internet mode, a lot of work that we can do without any involvement of paper. For example, the e-bill we are getting nowadays, we are getting e-bill nowadays, we are getting the income tax return online. हम बहुत सारे काम ऑनलाइन करते हैं जिसमें कि जो पेपर इन्वॉल्वमेंट है वो लीस्ट हो गया. और उसका रिजल्ट क्या हो रहा है, समवेयर समहाउ वी आर कंट्रीब्यूटिंग टूवर्ड्स द सेविंग ऑफ द प्रेशियस नेचुरल रिसोर्स, दैट इज़ द plantation, that is the trees. ठीक है. So all these are the benefits of the ई बिजनेस, जिसमें हमने स्पीड की बात करी, कन्वीनियंस की बात करी, ग्लोबल रीच की बात करी, एंड मूवमेंट टुवर्ड्स अ पेपर सोसाइटी की, पेपरलेस सोसाइटी की बात करी. नाउ द लास्ट टॉपिक, दैट इज़ द डिफरेंस बिटवीन ई बिजनेस एंड द ट्रेडिशनल बिजनेस. Just see the difference beta. The very first basis is the formation. So it is easy to form e-business, less amount of qualities, less amount of complexities are there. And in the traditional business it is difficult because you have to see everything over there. Next, personal touch. What is a personal touch? Personal touch, that means the personal interaction between buyer and seller. So in the e-business there is no personal interaction because buyer doesn't never sees the customer and customer never see the buyer. So everything is just going through on the electronic mode, so no personal touch is there. And if we talk about the traditional business, so there is personal touch always present because buyer and seller used to interact with each other. Next, setting cost. If we talk about the e-business, so there is the setting cost is low. Setting cost क्या होता है, business establish करने की जो cost होती है उसको setting cost बोलते हैं. So establishment cost of business is comparatively low in the case of e-business, but if we talk about the traditional business, तो यहाँ पे जो setting up cost होती है वो comparatively high होती है. Next we are coming ऑपरेटिंग कॉस्ट. ऑपरेटिंग कॉस्ट क्या होता है, बिजनेस को ऑपरेट करते वक्त, बिजनेस को रन करते वक्त जो कॉस्ट आती है, दैट इज नोन एज ऑपरेटिंग कॉस्ट. इन द ई बिजनेस लेस ऑपरेटिंग कॉस्ट इज देयर. वाई? बिकॉज नो नीड टू पे एनी सैलरी टू द क्लीनर, नो नीड टू पे एनी सैलरी टू द अकाउंटेंट, नो नीड टू पे एनी ऑफ द रेंट टू द पर्टिकुलर पर्सन फ्रॉम whom you have taken the building in the rent, because you are not having any building on rent, you are not having any salesman, you are not having any chartered accountant या फिर clerk. तो आपकी ऑपरेटिंग कॉस्ट क्या होती है, कम होती है. बट इफ़ यू टॉक अबाउट द ट्रेडिशनल बिजनेस तो आपको ये सारे एक्सपेंडिचर करने पड़ते हैं एंड एज अ रिजल्ट जो आपकी ऑपरेटिंग कॉस्ट होती है वो हाई होती है. नेक्स्ट, दैट इज़ द फिजिकल एग्जामिनेशन, दैट मीन्स क्रॉस चेकिंग ऑफ द गुड्स. तो आप ई बिजनेस में जूम करके देख सकते हैं लेकिन क्वालिटी कैसी होगी यू कैन नॉट चेक आउट दैट. बट इफ़ यू टॉक अबाउट द ट्रेडिशनल बिजनेस तो यहाँ पे गुड्स का जो फिजिकल एग्जामिनेशन है वो कैसा है, पॉसिबल है बिकॉज द गुड्स आर फिजिकली प्रेजेंट इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू एंड यू कैन क्रॉस चेक द quality as well as and the other things in the goods. And the last one, that is expansion. It is very easy to expand the e-business, but if we talk about the traditional business then it is very difficult to have expansion and growth about the traditional business, because for that again you have to maintain the complete infrastructure, and setting up of the infrastructure is not an easy task. So this is all about today, dear students. Today we have seen about the introduction of the emerging modes of business. Thereafter we have seen the scope of e-business. Thereafter we have seen about the e-commerce versus e-business, and the last but not the least we have seen about the meaning of e-business and the benefits of e-business along with difference between e-business and traditional business. This is all about today. God bless you all.